So we had an event.
We did. It was so much fun.
We did. It was fun. How did you feel the next day?
Very hungover.
Oh, yeah, same.
It was funny because before we had the event, we had a whole little production meeting here. And I just kept telling everyone, I was like, I'm not really going to drink because there's so many moving parts. I'm not going to get buzzed till after our podcast segment. Mm-hmm. And that completely went out the door. I was wasted.
You didn't come off as wasted.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I felt like I embarrassed myself very many times. It's just because our friends are so great and supportive and they came out. So every single time I turned around, someone like handed me another drink.
That's awesome. How many drinks do you think you had?
I think I probably had like 8 tequila sodas.
That's more than I had, Joey.
Yeah.
I am double your size.
I know,
oh my God. I had no idea.
Yeah. I mean, we were sponsored by Field. Thank you to our sponsors at Field.
Shout out Field.
I was in the middle of doing some of our like man on the street interviews. And even then, in the middle of me talking to some guy I met there, a friend walks up and just hands me another tequila soda in my hand. And he's just like, oh, wow, a drink fairy.
At least it's like low carb. I don't know.
Yeah. So I had a ton of fun, but I definitely felt it after.
That's fair.
How did you feel about the event?
I thought it was cool. I think I'm a little like my social battery's a little low. I feel like those things I'm so good at getting the vibes going, and I do a lot of like mental work with like vibe checking everything that the next day or a couple days later I'm just like, I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't want to do anything. I don't want to think about anything. Like I'm so good. Yesterday I was like really trying to work and I was like, oh, I'm having a horrible day because I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
Like I literally was like, I just did an event yesterday. Dude, it's totally fine. You're not like hustle demon today. Like obviously not, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, but ultimately I had a really good time. I felt really supported. I felt like it was cool. It really reminded me of when I was a musician and playing shows, which I hate. I hated that.
Why?
I hate that feeling. Well, because you're like worried about who's coming, if enough people are coming, like are there enough people here to get on stage yet? I was always really, really clinical with those things. X amount of people have come through the door. We're going to like push our set time by 20 minutes.
I know you did it. You're very conscious. I was just like,
Yeah.
well, in our run of show, I said we would start now. You're like, let's just wait.
No, you
another
have to
20 minutes.
Run of show, I think for things like this is always it's by temperature check.
It's a plan.
Yeah,
it's
not
flexible. It's adjustable.
It's not theater. It was like maniacal when I was in a band. Getting yelled at by promoters always. I was like, trust me.
The vibes are going to be better
Yeah.
if you trust me.
Exactly. But ultimately, I thought it was great. I had a really fun time doing man on the street interviews. I had never really done that in my life.
If you see it on our channel, please like, share, repost. We had a ton of fun doing it.
Yeah, it was super fun. I learned what a demisexual is, which is basically just your normal, which duh. I thought that was cool.
You know what? All forms of sexuality are normal.
To you, not to me.
Hi, this is Joey.
And hello, I am Miles. This is SPILF.
I think both of us are feeling a little low energy this week because we had to be so high energy for our event. What comes up for you in these sort of like dips?
I used to get, I think, depressed. Now I'm just like really good at advocating for like my alone time. I mean, I wore sandals to school drop off today. Miles Garber. Sandals.
Number one, I don't believe you. Number two, like, I don't even picture you having sandals because it's such a sensory thing for you.
It's also more than a sensory thing to me. They just look straight up bad on men. Sorry. They do. They just do. I believe in Adidas slides and I believe in Greek leather sandals on the beach in Greece or in southern Italy only.
Unk status, white socks with the slides.
You could wear white socks with
behind your
slides.
back.
No, socks with slides is totally acceptable. I grew up like that's a chancla. Like it's a different thing. Like if you're wearing flip-flops to like a date as a dude, no.
What if the date is on the beach?
It's not going to be, and we're fucking Vans. Done.
Okay. Lesson learned.
Lesson learned. Okay, but how are you feeling?
To be really honest, quite burnt out. I ran into someone last night in Silver Lake, and they were asking me how the event went and how I was feeling. And I kind of just described my day to them, and they were taken aback, like, whoa, Joey, like that's your average day. And then you ran an event. And it just really highlighted the fact that I am overproductive, sometimes to my detriment. And it's this autistic cycle of hyper focus, hyper productivity, and then a full crash burnout.
Yeah.
I'm beginning to like, feel those first signs of like real burnout.
Are you gonna do anything about that as your homie?
I'm not very good at being able to stop.
Is that something you could maybe work on?
Definitely. I'm working on even recognizing it.
I think that is huge and the first step.
My question to you is, how do you recognize your burnout and what do you do about it?
I have been working very hard on emotional regulation. I've brought it up on this. We've talked about it in our personal lives. I am in a place where like I feel very grateful for the people in my life, like really hammering this into my head. I'm very grateful that I have the ability to even hear them. So for me, it's like that people pleaser thing of like, I got invited to like 3 things tonight and I was just like, no, I'm just gonna chill. No one's mad at you. It doesn't matter. Like, it's all good. And like, I also know like I might stay up till like midnight tonight watching YouTube. It's not about like sleeping necessarily for me, as it's like I just need like my time. So that's come up for me. And I used to probably get like depressed or like not listen to that. And I would get like really angry and like aggravated at the people in my life. And now I know that like I need to like recharge. Also, I don't have a lot of time on my own at home. So I've been trying to like use it wisely, you know?
Yeah, and your home is so cute.
Thank you.
And such a safe space for you and your kid. Obviously, no hard feelings ever. I mean, I asked you just before, like, I'm going to this birthday dinner. Do you want to come? And you're like, I want to stay home. I'm like, cool.
It's a marathon in learning how to be emotionally regulated, because I've also just realized if I want to be as successful as I'm trying to be, that's really the only way I'm going to do it. And also just with that comes more discernment and intentionality, which I'm like really obsessed with right now, as you know. I'm going Buddha, dude.
Yeah. But I definitely recognize that the first sign of me being burnt out is getting aggravated with people. So what are things that really trigger you in the middle of burnout?
I think parenting is a huge trigger for me. You know, I'm with my daughter a lot, obviously. With that being said, I'm with her by myself. I don't have a partner. I don't have somebody at home. So like every part of the parenting cycle, at least at my house, I have to do it by myself. And I think I used to really not realize it takes a lot, you know, like you have an emotional factor. It's your child. They need you. And not in a corny way, like they literally need you.
Yeah.
You have to cook, you have to clean, you have to do the laundry, you have to do this, you have to hold the emotional baggage of the day, like you have to drive, you have to and for me,
It's
like
a lot.
by the time 8:45, 9 rolls around, you know this, like I fall asleep. Like my body is like done. I can't work at night. I can't do stuff at night because like it just takes a lot out of me. And it's not because I don't love her. It's just like that's the way it shows up for me, is I'm just like I'm depleted.
Well, yeah, parenting is a job, and it's a difficult job.
Yeah.
On top of, at least for me, running an agency. You know, I don't just clock in somewhere.
Yeah.
I'm responsible for multiple people's livelihood
Yeah.
and responsible for clients. And then I'm a single parent of 2 kids. And then we have this podcast.
Yeah.
And then I have my own social media. And then I have friends. And then lastly, if at all, is like somebody I might be seeing.
Yeah. I mean,
Just compounds.
I think it does compound. And I think that's like the thing people don't necessarily get, especially when you don't have a partner at home. If you're with somebody and you have kids, one person's doing this while the other person does that. I don't think people really understand the valley of a day when you're just alone.
Yeah.
You have to do it all by yourself. Like you have to play and cook and deal with boo-boos at the same time by yourself. There's no one there. So it's a lot. It's a whole lot.
But you co-parent. So how do things shake out with your co-parent?
It's interesting because it's very much her house and my house. Like we don't share a bridge too much anymore, which I think is net positive for us, but I feel there are times where I'm very frustrated because I feel like I'm doing too much by myself, and I'm sure there's times she feels the same way. And I think that's a big thing too, is about this emotional regulation thing I keep bringing up, is like I'm really learning to just be like, no, because I have to put these borders up around me or I'm going to break in half. And I honestly, like, I have like lost it a few times parenting. Fucking, we all have.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't want to even hear that. Like, you're not imperfect because you lost it on your kid being a brat or like having a tantrum, or maybe you're too overwhelmed. Like, that doesn't make you
Yeah.
a bad person.
If I'm overwhelmed, if I'm dysregulated, I'm
Yes.
allowed to have a natural reaction as long as I recognize and repair and apologize after. I don't believe in like parenting without ever raising your voice. I just don't think it's realistic.
Yeah.
But do say sorry after.
Of course I say sorry after, but my biggest thing is like I've learned the more I do this and do exist in our own little bubble, the more ability I have to be regulated for her when she needs me to be. I can now go, you know what? I'm going to put the freaking dinner over there and put a thing over it so it doesn't get cold, so I can like sit with you and get you through the X, Y, and Z. So like when I used to have all of these channels of communication open to me in my life and in my parenting, I'm doing this motion because it became a tornado.
Yeah.
I know the type of person I am that when there's a tornado, I sit very comfortably in that tornado. And honestly, I don't want to be that way anymore. So I've really had to go like, no, this is my time. This is what I'm doing. And this is like how I want to do it. And that's that. If you want to call me, you got to put it on my calendar. It sounds mean. It's not meant to be though. Like I really can't.
There's just too much.
It's too much.
There
And
are
I
not
can't.
enough hours in the day for everything that I do.
Yes.
And so like my person was just like, do you ever just sit on the couch?
Yeah.
And I said, no, actually, no.
Yeah.
I'm so hyper productive that I don't get a chance to just space out pretty much ever.
I've only now, with everything I'm saying to you, have even used my TV for myself. I've lived in my new house for 4 months.
Yeah, my TV is for the kids. I don't watch anything.
But I'm saying like that moment, that realization I had when I just like watched TV by myself at night, it was big because like you need to find ways to decompress, or like we're not robots. You know what I mean?
No.
So what are some of your triggers?
I know I'm burnt out when I get aggravated, and I'm very triggered as someone with their Venus and Mars in Libra when I feel like there's inequity in a relationship, in any relationship, whether it's a friendship, a business relationship, or a romantic relationship. I've been talking to some of my friends who are tired in their relationships, in their co-parenting relationships, and I feel like a lot of women get this. It's usually, unlike your dynamic, where the mom takes on so much more work. There's so much more emotional labor. There's so much more like planning, admin, and then project managing their spouse.
Right.
Those are 3 extra jobs.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's so common for like the mom to look up schools and camps and play dates and meals and do all of this stuff. And it's so easy, stereotypically, for a dad to be like, well, just tell me what you need, or like, I will take them there. I feel like I do all the research, all the planning, all the admin. I am the house's secretary.
Yeah.
And then I have to be your fucking boss and delegate to you. That's 3 extra jobs that I'm doing, and you just do the job.
Yeah.
And that's when I get the most burnt out. I already have a lot on my plate, more than you do. And then I take on extra parenting work.
Yeah.
And then someone just goes like, just ask for help.
Yeah.
And I was like, telling you what I need is already an extra job.
Yeah.
This is what we call like classic emotional labor. And it really hit home this week, both in my co-parenting situation and sometimes even in the process of throwing an event for SPILF or running SPILF itself. I want to give us flowers for being able to have constructive conversations about what we contribute to each other, because definitely in my past romantic relationships, it's the easiest way for me to like fly off the handle.
Yeah.
And for us to get into a huge argument.
Sure.
Have you found that in terms of discussing this stuff, either
Yeah.
with your co-parent or
Yeah.
people that you're dating?
Absolutely. Not so much people I'm dating, like since I've been separated, whatever you want to call it. So that's been almost 4 years. But with my co-parent, it's unfortunately almost impossible for us to have a conversation that ends with a solution. And that really saddens me. I'm sure it saddens her, and it's like really exhausting. And yeah, I that's probably one of the biggest reasons we're not together.
Yeah.
You know, which is honestly also very common.
Same. I mean, I do think one of the biggest reasons that I ended my relationship, or a lot of relationships fail, is this sense of inequity. And it builds up resentment. And then as soon as people aren't trying to reset, that's the end.
Yeah.
Because when something feels unfair, you don't even get to the positives of the relationship.
Yeah, and something that comes up for me a lot, and I don't mean to sound like a misogynist or something, but at least in that particular relationship, like I felt like I was supposed to read minds. And then I was being very highly resented for not. Don't do that. And I don't believe in it anymore. I won't accept it. I'm not saying that's what you're doing, but I think when you are taking on all of these emotions and you're not talking about it and then you explode, like unfortunately, like those people sometimes maybe like they didn't even know. Secondly, the biggest one I think that comes up with that too is that people treat you how you teach them to treat you. Which is hugely uncomfortable to say out loud, and it's also feels really bad. But like if you just do everything and you know and like it's been 8 years, like that's what they know to do, whether they believe it or not.
Yeah.
Whether they even have the concept of it down. Like accountability where accountability needs to be, but there also has to be some accountability for like the way we allow people to treat us.
And I think that's a big lesson for me. You know, I have had this same conversation in my relationships for decades. It's what I learned from my parents' dynamic. I had a dad who was like very absent-minded and just earned the money, and then it was full stop. And then I had a mom who like earned even more money, cooked, cleaned, managed everything. She was the classic example of like a mom martyr.
Yeah.
And I just developed those unconscious habits, and I have trained my partners to not carry a lot of weight, but I'm trying to unlearn that.
Yeah.
And even though we still go to couples therapy to learn how to co-parent better, and we always end conversations on a good note, it really hit home this week when I just flat out say, I understand that we both have different capacities. I just am a person with a huge capacity. Like a lot of people think I'm fucking superhuman a lot of the time, but it sucks.
Yeah.
It just sucks to be someone who can take on a lot, whether I like it or not, but most of the people around me can't.
Yeah. I mean, and I could say that if you want to talk about our dynamic, right? With my parenting, I am that. I am superhuman. With everything else, not so much. I don't want to work after 5. I honestly won't. I don't want to. And I don't care if that means like I'm not going to be a billionaire. I don't want to be a billionaire. I want to enjoy every possible second with my child as much as I can. I don't give a fuck. And like that's unfortunate in a lot of ways. But like I also am super accountable for it, and I'm also very upfront about it. I tell everybody. I've told anyone, as you know.
Yeah.
Like it's 8 a.m., 8 p.m. I'm not doing this right now. I'm just not, because I've had to learn to keep those boundaries, because I have to be emotionally stable. And when I'm not, I don't get anything done, and I'm a shitty dad, and I'm not doing that anymore. And to your point, I wish that I didn't feel this way, but I'm also having this realization kind of with like talk therapy where I'm not entirely seeing people get what they need to get out of it. It's really easy to tell your therapist like, yeah, I hear you. No, like we really need to like look at ourselves in the mirror. Like what you're good at is great, and what that person's good at is also great. But like if they're not going to actually meet you in the middle, then you have to start cutting off the tails of things. You just do. You know, the summer camp thing, I've been in that I've been right there with you before. I've been you. And like this year I just didn't do anything because I'm done.
Yeah, that's something I have to explore in my therapy sessions is
Yeah.
I'm a maximizer. You don't want to be a billionaire? I kind of do. It might be okay for some people to take it easier with their kids' summer camp plans. I was like, I don't, because my kid has asked for X, Y, and Z, and I don't want to say no to them.
Yeah.
I want to be able to be the kind of parent that goes, do you want the best summer ever? You're going to have the best fucking summer ever.
Yeah, I love that. I love that, but I love that for you. And I'm
Yes.
saying that as just your friend. I love that for you. You can own these things, but it's like, how do you delegate them and how do you put boundaries up around you so that like you don't burn out within them? And I'm also saying this as somebody, I'm learning this as I go.
Yeah.
But like,
We
you know,
all
my
are.
baby mama, it's school pickup time right now. She just called me 4 times in a row. I'm not answering it. I'm not doing it. I already know what's on the other end of that phone call. I'm having a great time on my podcast with my friend today on my off day.
Figure it
Figure it out. Figure it out.
Yeah, figure it out. We've said this before when we talk about conflict resolution is if stuff comes up with your partner, address it head on then and there
Yeah.
instead of allowing it to build resentment. Like
Yeah.
learn how to communicate effectively and from a foundation of love so that you don't get to a place where you fucking hate each other.
Absolutely. I mean, I have an example of this today if you'd like to hear it.
Yeah.
Like, I have a new friend that lives in Europe that really wants to come to LA.
Yeah.
But had also asked me like, hey, can you come to Europe? And I was very honest. I was like, no, I honestly can't right now. I can come at the end of June, but other than that, it's irresponsible. I have very serious responsibilities at home. I wish I could do those things still in my life. I can't. And I was like, but I want to tell you something. I understand if that's too much for you to take on.
Yeah.
Like by and large, if you want to come hang out in my world, you will have to come here. That is expensive. That's a lot to take on. And
Yeah.
I would hate for you to be resentful with me. So I'd rather be pen pals. And this person literally was like taken aback. It was like, whoa, wow. And but that came from being emotionally fucking regulated today.
Yeah, I think the core components of what we're saying in a healthy conversation about different capacities is one, being honest about your capacity,
Yeah.
being clear about your boundaries, but then acknowledging when it's inequitable. And I think that last part is when people get stuck.
Yeah.
They're like, well, I communicated my boundaries, but did you also understand that it's you have to give more because of my boundaries? And can we just acknowledge that and like give it some credence and maybe some thanks?
Yeah, but that also comes from asking. So I want to ask you, like, where do you find like our friendship, especially with this podcast, are inequitable? Like, because I can tell you feel that way and I'm here to hear you.
I feel that way stronger or weaker dependent on everything else that's going on in my life. And so if like work and parenting are manageable, I feel really great, and being productive with SPILF is like my hobby. Like instead of watching TV, I'd rather be editing.
Yeah.
But in a week like this week where we had the event, I'll just point it out.
Yeah.
For example, I secured the sponsorship. In all of the vendors that we hired, I hired more of the vendors that ended up happening. I obviously edit every single one of our episodes, the full episodes. And of all of the social media clips that you tend to see on our channel, I edit and post like 80% of them. And I think I felt it more this week because both of us are really busy with the event. Had conversations before where like, this is our SOP. These are my duties. These are your duties. And I was frankly a little disappointed when you didn't edit and post the clip. Well, I've edited 2 episodes this week, plus like 3-4 clips, plus edited these photos, plus secured most of the vendors, and you just had 1 clip to post and you didn't do it. Or in the lead up to the event, every morning, again, because I just have more of a project manager brain, I would say like, this is what I need from you today. But those expectations weren't met. I was like, figure out the sound. And of course, we had a lot of sound difficulties. It wasn't the right chord. Or I was like, please download the app and have these things ready before the day of the event. And you hadn't done that. And you were figuring that out at the bar. And I know in the end, it didn't make a huge difference. And I'm not mad about all of those things. For me, what sticks with me is really just acknowledging that, like, you asked me to do something. It's less than what you're doing. I didn't do it. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I mean, I could say sorry about those things.
Yeah.
There's just things that aren't in our control.
No, of course. And like, you did hire one of our photographers and they didn't bring the right equipment. So like, there's nothing you could have done about that.
But like, I think those are just things that happen. But I can apologize for the stuff that I can be accountable for sure.
Yeah.
It's just, I also think with like clips and stuff like that and X, Y, and Z, 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 W, W, like I could have done that. I could have done more. But like, I think when you present it as like, I'm managing this is what I need from you, it is easy for me to just sit back and be like, okay, well, I'll just do that then. Which isn't necessarily, that's not partnership. You know what I'm saying?
No, and I want us to get out of that space.
Yeah, me too.
You know, which
That's
is
what I'm
why
saying.
we can have these conversations so that we know what to do next time.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. And I think it also inevitably makes things inequitable because one of my people pleaser things is like, if someone becomes very like XYZ, I'm just like, okay. It really makes me just go like, okay.
Yeah.
Horrible. I can be accountable for that. It doesn't work. I will admit to that. But like, also that's something that needs to be addressed in how we do SPILF things is like, how does it work for you and how does it work for me? Also, there are just things that you're going to be better than I am at and same.
And I mean, we've talked about this before, like in a home environment, if one person naturally is a better cook, they're just going to do that more.
Yeah.
But we just need the other person to like handle laundry or the car or the trash.
Yeah.
It's not saying that like I have to edit half the episodes, you have to edit half the episodes. It's more like, how do you have a healthy conversation about, these are my strengths, what are your strengths? And then do we both feel good about it being equitable, not equal?
Yeah, I also think a lot of it comes down to getting a thank you. And I don't think I've like thanked you a lot recently, not because I'm not thankful. I love you, dude. Like, I'm
love you
always
too.
so thankful for you. But like, you know, life happens. Like, you're one of my best friends. Like, it's easy to take advantage of your best friend. I hate to say that. It's pretty horrible to say, but it's just true. It's how love works. It's easy to take advantage of your wife. Like,
That's the way love goes.
but it is easy. And I think sometimes it is nice if you're like, for example, I know Miles isn't going to edit a whole episode. That's just not, it's just not going to be his thing. But if I can wake up and be like, thank you so much. You're so good at editing. I'm so grateful to have you. That's not performative. But if you feel it, you're like, oh, that's why I edit the episodes and Miles does the laundry. Like, do you get what I mean? And I think I could be a lot better at that.
Thank you for saying that.
Of course.
And I think that is a huge part of these disagreements amongst couples or friends or business partners is a thank you. And even if you aren't at that place of being grateful for it, and again, if you're really close, we don't have to be saying performative thank yous all the fucking time.
No,
Like,
no,
we get
that's
it. We know
annoying
we're
as
thankful.
fuck.
But it's the acknowledgement. And I think acknowledgement is huge of, I'm going through a lot right now because of this other situation happening right here. And you've had to take on a lot more of whatever it is. I just want to acknowledge, I see that happening.
Yeah.
I see the inequity, but like at some point, I know the tables are going to turn.
Yeah, of course. I also think in my own experience, like I've found it's very easy for people to minimize me because I don't have a lot of technical ability, but I'm also getting very confident in the fact of that I am really good with people, which is like a huge strength. And I think I need to get out of that mentality because I think that's why I just go like, okay. Because I'm just like, oh, I'm just going to be minimized to the point of like, I feel so shitty and like small. Like, I don't fucking care now. That's not a great place to fit. It's like, hey, I'm really good at like setting tone and doing vibe. And I want to talk to the DJs because I know the right music to play. Like things like that. Like I'm very, very good at. I'm very good at art directing an idea. You know what I'm saying? So like there's ways to like show up for each other more, I think, in that way too. Like that's why I had them play the same kind of music over and over again because I was like, people are having fun when they play my idea. Like, but I need to take a little bit more ownership of that. And I think I could also be like, that's the way you can show up and make your partner, whether it's in business or whatever we're talking about, feel like, oh, but Miles did this whole other thing that I wasn't even on. Like he was like doing that while I was doing this, right?
And I think that's why you and I have so much trust in each other and complement each other in a ways, because I have hard technical management skills and you have incredible like soft people vibe skills.
Yeah.
And I think that a lot of the time we trust each other so much, we just kind of like toss it over the wall of like, I know that's going to be taken care of.
Yeah.
And it's like, I thank you for it, you know? I want to acknowledge like everyone has fun because you're around. That's huge. That's part of the success of the event, right?
I think they always also have fun because you're around.
But I think together we do have this magic chemistry that makes people want to be around us, want to work with us. And we, you know, that's the reason why we have this podcast and we have the sponsor and we have the event and all of this stuff. But what's great for the next time we do it and for any situation where there's a dynamic involved is communicate early, communicate often, and then acknowledge and thank afterwards.
I think you're right. I think that also is just like a play for life, right? It's like with our kids, if you really think about it. Like I always tell my daughter how I'm proud of her, how great she did. Wow, I really saw you trying on that one. Like, or honestly, when she's not trying, because I've noticed she has that gene that I have where she's like, this is hard, fuck this. ADHD. That's so ADHD. I don't like it. I don't want to do it. Also, you know, tap into the cultural things with that. Like I grew up punk. Like I don't want to do anything I don't want to do. I was literally taught, fuck the man, right?
Yeah.
But I'm noticing it with her where I just look at her, I'm like, you know, you're so smart. Just try 2 more times and you'll get it. And I say it like that, which is not sweet. It's stern. 1 time gets it. Yeah. She just needs somebody to be like, go.
And it's like building the esteem and confidence. One thing I'm really grateful for you pointing out, especially in the last month or so, is that one thing I need to learn is discernment. And
we really be loving that word right now.
Right, yeah. Put it on a t-shirt. Tattoo it on my forehead.
It is a good
Tattoo it on my wrist so I can see it all the time.
I think it's a really good word though.
Yeah, and I think with discernment is when someone reveals to you what they're capable of, it's not your job to move to that point. It's your job to say, that doesn't work for me actually.
Or maybe if you care about them, it's also your job to push them past their point. And I would like to say thank you to you. The way I've been showing up with work, because obviously like I'm kind of starting my own thing for the first time and I'm trying to figure out my next steps. The way I've been able to show up professionally lately has been like really, really amazing to me. I'm like shocking myself. And that is because I have this like big technical badass coach in my life who's like, this is how you do it. That's how you say it. That's how it looks. I mean, I made like a custom invoice for myself today. Like, these are things though that like
we love a custom invoice.
No, but these are things though that like I wouldn't have done until I had these people in my life. And I think I want to say thank you for that too, because I might not be the technical baddie that you are, but like in our friendship, I've been forced to push myself. So I think that line, I think people should stop caring about their lines in the sand. Like your lines in the sand are fake. And they're holding you back. Whether it's you overachieving, that's also a line.
Yep.
Like that you're holding. Like stop holding the line. The line is not real.
That's why I appreciate you as a friend, because you are really good about reminding me to let go of certain things, not overgive, and to ask for help, but not in this like put up your hands like, well, tell me what to do kind of way. Yeah. It's very much from this like caring, loving place of like, you can depend on me. You can lean on me. And I want to say like, that's so rare. It's part of why I love you so much, because when you say like, I can help you with these things, I actually believe you. And I actually feel like I can count on you. And I think that that's huge for any man. I think you should be really proud that you're the kind of man that like a person in your life can depend on.
That brings a tear to my eye, because that's a struggle, you know, like, and I think that's something I've really been working on a lot in my life. And it's weird because it's shaken out that most of my best friends right now are girls. You know, when I'm talking to my new European pen pal, they brought that up and I was like, well, yeah, because I actually have just learned I feel safest around women, but women don't necessarily feel safest around us.
Yeah.
But it's like, I've had to unlearn a lot, and I've had to really rebuild myself really, really in a really real way.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I appreciate all this stuff so much, and I take it in. Like, I really like trust you guys.
For all that society finds worthy or valuable,
Mm-hmm.
it's easy for people to find it valuable that I can bring X number of dollars into our podcast. That's an easy win, right? But it's harder to quantify and appreciate the fact that, like, but you guys don't get it. Between our friendship, it's like Miles is the emotional core. I'm fucking autistic. I'm not very good with emotional boundaries or recognizing things or whatever it is. So I also need a mirror or a counterpart to like point those things out for me
Sure.
that I feel safe around, to be like, they can help me navigate this.
Yeah, I mean, I really appreciate you saying that. And I think, don't sell yourself short. Like, these things are all value adds, but that's even something I'm learning in my own, new lane of work, is that, to put it really simply, like, if you can kick it, you can go a long way. And I'm really good at kicking it.
Can you kick it?
Yes, I can. Anyways, how do you feel now?
I feel good. I mean,
Good.
that's why, again, when people don't really understand like a girl guy friendship dynamic, you're seeing in real time why this works for us, because we can have these like level-headed, empathetic, caring conversations about difficult topics.
Yeah.
And we always get through it in this way of like, we're not fighting, but we communicate well.
Yeah. When you learn how to do this, you can go look for that again. Like, you can repeat this dynamic, whether it be in friendship, in business, in, who you choose as a lover or a partner. Like, you want to have repeatable offenses in the right direction. And that's a big thing I've learned too, is even with clients I'm going after or whatever, I'm just like, I don't like your messaging. And yeah, maybe I'd be richer if I nailed this one, but I'd have to be pretending to be someone I'm not. And I'm just like, I just don't think we have much room for that in society anymore. I just really don't.
We're learning to be more discerning.
Discernment. It's actually a sick band name.
So this is actually our 10th episode.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Whoa.
So months ago when we had the idea to start a podcast, I was like, no matter what,
Yeah.
doesn't matter if we hate each other's guts or whatever it is, we have to at least get to 10 episodes. And we
I
did
remember that, because we were like going to do 10 and then stop and then start again.
Yes.
Remember our whole like crazy like season 1 plan?
Yes.
I do think, looking back though, I wish we would have gotten into a rhythm before we started, but I think it's been cool to like really learn from all of it.
Yeah. And we've had different capacities. Like we're still parents and we still have jobs. So like, and we have travel and life stuff and people get sick. Like it just happens. But I'm really proud of us for
good
doing
job.
10 episodes of
That's
a
crazy.
podcast and getting this far.
Yeah.
Thank you for being on this journey for us. But if we were to say this is our season ender, even though we're not going to stop it and restart a season, what are things we want to do differently for season 2? For our next 10 episodes?
I think for me, something that's been coming up a lot is I think that these conversations are, by and large, not conversations that everyone is necessarily having or comfortable to have. And I'm really trying to get really authentic with myself, whether that be through all the astrology going on that, I'm a dork about, whether it be just how I'm feeling. And I think I would like us to like put that as front and forward as possible, because I think it's really funny and easy to talk about like going on dates and sex and but like that's actually not really who I am, or like who I actually think we are. I think sometimes it makes sense where it makes sense, but I think like obviously SPILF is a funny name, but it's a play off of DILF and MILF for a reason.
Yeah.
And I think we're actually talking about things that can like help people. I'm not saying we're going to be the next, Gandhi, but if one or two people is like, hey, I'm going to try discernment now because I heard it, like that means a lot to me. And that's really what I like for season 2 or like the next iteration. I want to like put the front and the foremost, which I think also comes from me editing more. We've talked about this. We don't need to go over it again. But like that's something like I'd really like to see.
Yeah.
Not that we don't, but
I mean, I think we're really authentic, But I think because we're dipping our toe into podcast life of like, how deep do we go? How much do we put in front of the camera?
Yeah.
Before we did this episode, I threw the idea to you. I was like, I kind of want to have a heart to heart with you about something I'm feeling, but I want to do it on camera.
Yeah.
And you were actually like, I don't know if I want to do that.
Yeah.
And so we had the talk.
Yeah.
And the talk was fine. And I was like, we'll just have it again on camera.
But today was a big lesson for myself because I've been feeling this way about like wanting to present a little differently for myself. And I was like, I don't know how I feel about that. And I actually, the first 6 episodes, I wasn't doing that.
Yeah.
And I think I have been doing that a little bit more, but it's because I get stuck in this like, well, you're leading it. I'm just going to be like, okay.
What gets misunderstood, and this is what I want to see for the next 10 episodes, is I do pride myself in being a good communicator, but a lot of times when I talk about something, people just assume I'm leading something. I was like, no, that's me initiating. That doesn't mean I'm taking charge.
Yeah.
Like one of us always has to bring the conversation up, but it doesn't now mean that I own it.
Yeah.
It's like we own it together.
Well, also thank you for that because I think maybe like how I would love to say thank you and make you feel more appreciated. Like that's something I think I need to hear from you more because you're very fiery and you're very like, and
Let's
like,
go.
but that's who you are. And I do love you for it. I think, not everybody can deal with that. And I'm very similar in my own ways, but like just interpersonally, if you're like, dude, I'm just bringing it up because like I'm trying to alley-oop you here or whatever, like that's that confidence we talked about that you put into your kids, right? It's like, you know what? I know you can do it. Just try again. That's that for me.
Yeah, I think for me, it's just like I'm bringing it up, not as a demand. It's a conversation. It's a discussion. If you really don't want to do it, I would drop it.
Yeah, I know.
But I think that at the end of it, I was like, see how well that went?
Yeah, no, like
you
I
didn't
actually
have to worry about it.
I feel like re-inspired by that. Not that I wasn't, but you get what I'm talking about.
Yeah. And I think for season 2, I need to get better at letting go and asking for help and leaning on you more for these things because like you are capable and smart and technical. Like you've taught yourself so many things. And I'm looking forward to us like sitting down, having a plan of these are all the things actually Miles feels really good about learning or getting really good at. So like you're going to be taking on more of the stuff.
Yeah, I mean, a big one for me was that man on the street thing. Like, and it's funny because in the edit, it is me.
Yeah. I think I was like, because I did so much admin work that I was like, you go and have fun.
But I did have fun.
Yeah.
And I think I got really cool answers out of people. And like, I don't know. Like,
I was also like just too drunk.
no, but like, I think that's something I'd like to explore on SPILF is like, we have all these amazing friends and like, whether they sit down here, we go do man on the street with them. Like, I think that's something we should bring to the table. We are fucking smart and we are talking about things that no one else wants to talk about for the most part. And like, we do have amazing people in our corner who are going to have amazing answers that might help people. I mean, our friends have helped me.
Yeah. And also, I think we had killer content and we had a killer event. And so if you are a brand interested in working with this dynamic duo and sponsoring SPILF to do a program like we did for Field, get in touch with Miles.
Actually, yeah, get in touch with me.
And to keep us motivated for season 2 of SPILF, please share our clips, subscribe to us on your podcast channels, rate us, like the stuff. It all means a lot to us, and we'll keep going. Here's to the next 10 episodes.
Chin chin.
Bye.